Hey everyone, meteorologist Parker Beasley here with your local weather authority. Now today we issued what is called a weather authority alert day, and that's because we have the threat to see some localized flooding and then some damaging wind gusts over the course of tonight and into tomorrow, and then following into Thursday through the evening then. Now, what we'll see is scattered thunder showers and thunderstorms throughout all of the 10 News viewing areas. So that includes all of our zones in West and Central Virginia. Now, the current radar is not that active. It was a little bit active earlier. We did have an aerial flood warning in effect, which is actually still in effect right now for Carroll County. We also have a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Carroll County. If I could find my mouse cursor and pull that up for you guys here. Now it'll be this box, this outer green box, this lighter green box will be the aerial flood advisory, which expires at 9:45 later on this evening. And then we have a flash flood warning in effect, which expires later on tonight or tomorrow morning at about 1:15 a.m., so the early hours of the morning. Now, if we look at what the setup is across the board, we have weather out in West Virginia at the moment, and that will start to track from west to east and move further into our viewing area. As I switch over to the radar in Charleston, West Virginia, we've had lots of warnings in effect over the course of the past 2 hours or so. Some tornado warnings embedded in some of these cells, but they're starting to sort of group up and fizzle out, which is good news for us as these storms start to track to the east about this way. They're not moving that quick, but they will move in this general direction over the course of tonight and into the evening hours. Carroll County, you guys will probably see a few more isolated showers. So rainfall totals at the moment for Carroll County are actually pretty high compared to what we've seen in the past 3 hours. Zooming in on for you guys here. Right around I-77 Fancy Gap, Higgins Crossroads. Just in the past 3 hours or so, more so like the past 2 hours, we've seen rainfall totals near 3 inches in Carroll County. And so that is a lot of rainfall. We only had one cell move through that area, and that was, probably an hour ago. But that's the first, rainfall that we've seen over the course of this event. This is the cell that was moving through earlier on through Carroll County that dumped a lot of rain. Highlighted right here for you. It's now over County Road 58 moving to the north and to the east. So a cell that's, known for producing a lot of rainfall, and something that, meteorologist Chris Michaels and I talked about earlier is the precipitable water that's in the atmosphere. And there's a lot of it. There's near an inch. So that is just like the vertically integrated amount of water that's able to become precipitation. And if you span that out over the course of, a day's worth of time or 72 hours, then, you get a lot of moisture in the air and you get these thunder showers that can pop up. And when they do, they can dump a whole lot of rain in just a couple of minutes to a couple of hours. So that's basically what we saw over in Carroll County. Again, aerial flood advisory until 9:45 this evening, and then a flash flood warning. Even though there's currently no rain in Carroll County, this is in effect until 1:15 a.m. later on tonight and tomorrow morning, because we could still see some more thunder showers or lighter showers move through that area. Now, I want to move on to what the Storm Prediction Center has for their outlook for today. Now you'll notice that this is sort of the avocado shape that we talk about all the time, with the enhanced risk in orange and then the slight risk in yellow. The marginal risk is what we're under for today and for tonight, and that is in green. But as we go into tomorrow, we are all under a marginal risk with the exception of some counties in the Highlands and Greenbrier and Pocahontas counties in West Virginia, although I think we could still see some thunder showers and some isolated showers in these regions and in these counties. And then going into Thursday, we are also under a marginal risk, but that threat shifts further to the west compared to Wednesday. So outside of the green, just to the east of the Roanoke Valley, parts of Lynchburg, south side, and the Highlands, we could still see the opportunity for some strong storms, possibly some having the potential to go severe. Now, the flood risk is the biggest thing. We've already seen in Carroll County an aerial flood advisory and a flash flood warning in effect. So parts of Lynchburg have seen, possibly 9-10 inches over the past 5 days or so, dating back to last Thursday, where we had our last rain system move through our area. So some really, really high totals there in recent days. And so because of that, with all the rain that we're expecting, any pop-up shower due to the precipitable water that is available in the atmosphere or the moisture, any shower could really bring a downpour to parts of these areas, and any downpours that we do see could lead to some localized or isolated flooding, especially along rivers, creeks, and low-lying areas. Now, that's not to say that any other area won't see any localized flooding. Everywhere else in the greens and in the yellows and in the oranges, like Covington, parts of the Roanoke Valley, like over in Salem, just west of Salem, you guys could also see some isolated rainfall that could total up and could lead to some localized flooding. Cave Springs, you guys are also in that area. Parts of Carroll County, parts of Patrick County getting in there, and then parts of Floyd County also in that risk. We also see some oranges and some yellows north of Wytheville into Bland County. So just be on the lookout for updates from your local weather authority in terms of how much rainfall we have received and how much rainfall we could expect to see. And some other risk along with, isolated flooding. We could see some damaging winds. There was a report from the National Weather Service just about an hour ago. This was that storm that moved through Carroll County, and it was right along I-77. And there was a wind gust of 38 miles per hour. So they were indicating that travel would be hazardous up until about the 8 p.m. hour in Carroll County, but that thunder shower has moved to the east, and there is no immediate threat in terms of damaging wind in that area. We could also see some hail, although this possibility is on the lower side and lower end of the spectrum. It is very, very possible. Again, if you get a thunder shower that pops up with all the amount of moisture in the atmosphere and it booms and it gets to 40 to 45,000 feet, you could see a hail core develop, and we could see some pea-sized hail, possibly some dime-sized hail embedded in some of those cells. Now here's the timing of it all. Here's a look at about an hour ago, and then we see partly cloudy skies build in by 11 p.m. tonight. And then those cells that were out in West Virginia will start to track east into our region. And you see the yellows and the oranges, again, over Carroll and Floyd counties and Wythe counties. You could start to see, the rainfall add up even more. Carroll County saw nearly 3 inches just an hour ago in terms of rainfall, but they're expected to see even more overnight tonight. So that's why that aerial flood advisory and flash flood watch is in effect. And then as we pan it out throughout the remainder of the night, I'll actually back it up just a little bit. As we go to about 1 a.m., there's some more rainfall. It's not as heavy as we saw earlier. There are shades of darker green, again, in Floyd County here, and then parts of Carroll County going into Wythe County, Montgomery County, starting to see some rainfall. And then we also look at Lexington. You guys could also see some rainfall. I know along 501 we saw, nearly 9 inches of rainfall. So you guys aren't in the clear yet. We're still expecting to see copious amounts of rain with this system. As we go through tomorrow morning, about 7 a.m., as some of us are headed out the door to start off our Wednesday. Again, this area right around Patrick County, Montgomery County, you guys still seeing a lot of rain. South side, you guys aren't expected to be in the, flood stage, I guess, so to speak. You're not expected to see that much rainfall. But again, any heavy downpours could cause some localized flooding, especially with this mesoscale convective system as it tracks through our region. Lynchburg at about 8 a.m., heavy stuff right on top of you guys, nearing Bedford County, Amherst County, Appomattox County, and Campbell County. And then that tracks out to the east. And then by about lunch, Most of us remain clear. There still could be an isolated pop-up shower nearing the NRV highlands and possibly the south side as winds start to shift from out of the northwest to out of the south. And they sort of meet around the Roanoke Valley. As you see here, about 1 p.m., we could see some pop-up showers. And then South Boston, seeing a heavy downpour tomorrow, possibly around the 2 p.m. hour. Now, this isn't exact, but it is just an estimate. You guys should and could see a shower just after noon tomorrow. Now, 6 p.m., by the time we're all headed home from work, still a few isolated pop-up showers. And as we go through the nighttime tomorrow, again, just isolated pop-up showers that will be annoying in terms of rainfall, but they will start to add up and accumulate in terms of the amount of rain that we will be seeing and that we will be receiving. Now, as we go into Thursday, we're still extending this Weather Authority alert day up until Thursday. Now, here's a look at the early afternoon as we go to about 3, 4 p.m. We start to see more showers pop up. This is more so daytime heating and then leftover moisture that hasn't been used on Tuesday evening tonight and then Wednesday. So there's still a lot of moisture out there. We'll see some storms out there to our north just above the banner here. But by about 6 p.m. we could see even more rainfall. And then I'll actually extend this out. Just give me 1 second. I'll extend this to about, let's go to Friday at lunchtime. I'll save that. All right, let's hop back in here. Okay, so here's Thursday evening, right? We talked about these isolated showers popping up around the 6 p.m. hour. And then as we go through 7 p.m., we start to see this band of rain off to our north and west that'll start to move in. Now, this will interact with the mountains out to the west of us and west of I-81. And the mountains are sort of like our saving grace sometimes. They sort of get in the way and they interact and they cause air to cool as they go up them. But as they come back down the slope on the lee side of the mountains or on the eastern side of the mountains, compressional warming occurs, and then we could see some more isolated showers lift up on the back side of them. But Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, we could still see some showers move through the area. And then Friday, we're mainly back in our main pattern where we start to see some afternoon showers due to daytime heating, basically our summer-like pattern. Now, here's another look at the radar. We see a little bit of lightning out there in Beckley, West Virginia. Some showers are starting to make their way into Lexington and parts of the Highlands at the moment. And then another shower is actually popping up in Wythe County in southeast Wythe County right now. Now, the impact timeline of all of this is tonight, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again, a Weather Authority alert day is in effect from tonight until Thursday night. Now, scattered storms are expected to be high throughout the next 3 days. And then localized flooding is expected to be moderate today, just because it is the first day where we could see some isolated flooding. It's not meant to say that we won't see any isolated or localized flooding. It's just to say that it's on the lower end of the scale because there are still more days where we could accumulate even more rain. So that's why Wednesday and Thursday are in the orange category for high for localized flooding. And then wind and hail will primarily come in the early afternoon when some of the storms are really booming and they're really rocking. So that's why we have the moderate threat for wind and hail. The overnight hours, we're not expecting to see any thunderstorms really boom and get going, but some of them could. And then here is another look at the radar. Let me get over to my mouse here. If you're just tuning in and you missed out on the last couple of minutes, Carroll County has an aerial flood advisory in effect until 9:45 p.m. this evening, and then a flash flood warning in effect until 1:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's still tonight. So that one is set to expire shortly after midnight tonight. And the reason is because we saw a lot of rain earlier. About an hour ago, we had this pretty strong storm move through Carroll County. And so here is a look at the past 3 hours of rainfall. I'll zoom in here. Some areas near Hillsville, Freeze, Galax, Along I-77 near Fancy Gap and Sunnyside, over near Drin, Higgins Crossroads, you guys saw rainfall estimates of about 3 inches in some of these areas. So a lot of rain fell very, very quickly in some of these areas. Hillsville, you guys saw anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, just in about an hour and a half to 2 hours during the time this cell was overhead. Now, something else that I had talked about was the amount of water that we've seen fall from the sky in the past 5 days or so. And so this is showing the past 5 days, so lots of bright colors, lots of yellows, oranges, pinks, and reds. And then this is a look at the last 7 days. So the biggest areas that stick out to the local weather authority are Carroll County. And you guys have already seen a lot of rain just today. You guys have seen about 5 inches in the past week. Lynchburg, some areas nearing rainfall totals close to 10 inches, 9.8 inches there. And then about 7.5 inches just to the north and to the west of Lynchburg. So let's actually zoom in a little bit closer here. Just a lot of rainfall. Last Thursday, last Saturday was a crazy amount of rain that fell. And so downtown Lynchburg saw about 10 inches of rain. Appomattox, you guys saw about 6. Bedford, somewhere close to 5 inches. So a lot of rainfall in this area. But there are other areas where we have seen a lot of rain. South side, you guys haven't seen too much in the past 7 days. And I expect this will change over the course of the next 3 days as this weather authority alert day is in effect. We could see these totals get near to 1 inch, where we see the quarter mark there, possibly nearing 3 inches by the end of all of this. And then the NRV, again, Carroll County, you guys have seen a lot of rain. Hillsville also seeing a lot of rain. Wytheville, you guys have been kind of lucky in terms of rainfall. I know a couple of weeks ago we saw some more isolated and heavy rainfall there. So you guys were sort of getting a break this past time around. Bland County, not so much. 3 to 4 inches in the past 7 days. Giles County, about 2.5 inches. And then we see some lighter pockets, lighter shades of blue. So just all around the map, the last 7 days or so, we've seen anywhere from 1/2 inch all the way up to 10 inches. I know it's hard to believe that we've seen 10 inches of rain. But again, the amount of moisture that has been in the air, it's sort of been uncanny for this time of year. We usually don't see this sort of weather this late or this early rather into summer. We're in the middle of July. These types of events where we have mesoscale convective systems, which are essentially low pressure systems that develop on a smaller scale rather than large scale, and they have these really strong lines of thunderstorms embedded in these complex systems. We usually see these through late May through early June. So it's a little bit of a weird summer, and especially a weird year with hot temperatures out to the south and west United States, hot temperatures down in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all along the Gulf Coast, and then the Northeast dealing with, historical amounts of rain falling. Lexington, you guys seen about 5 inches of rain. Same thing there. I mean, just a crazy amount. Nelson County, about 4 inches of rain. Covington, again, 3, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain indicated on this map, with still more rain to come. Just crazy amounts. But I mean, it's been a really crazy summer. We do have this event on the global scale called El Nino. A lot of you may have heard of it, but essentially it just pushes in severe weather into central parts of the country. And that's what we're seeing. And on the back end of these storms and these systems that come through, these large scale storms, we get winds that wrap around out of the northwest And that's also why we see a lot of smoke funneled into this area, because another factor to El Nino is that the Northwest, the Pacific Northwest and into Canada, is a lot drier for this time of year. And so a lot of that land is on fire. And then when the winds wrap around from the Northwest, we start to see that here a couple of days later. But here is the system again. Can actually get a little bit better resolution if we go over to the radar located in Tennessee. So you see this strong line of thunder showers. Again, this is going to be moving primarily out to the east. It's not moving 60 miles an hour, but it's probably moving about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So wind gusts are still a concern for parts of Knoxville. This line here, had a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings lined up right along the front of it. And so that was part of the reason why we issued a Weather Authority alert day, because we saw the amount of activity and the strength of all these storms that was associated with the line. Same thing with Charleston. This line is still chugging along. Let's play the last 30 minutes to an hour. So I mean, it's still going. But I mean, you see there were a couple of warnings, or even a couple of tornado warnings included with this system. Again, this is part of that MCS, mesoscale convective system. I think it'll have a little bit of trouble getting over the mountains later on tonight, but I don't think it'll be that troubling to where we won't see any thunderstorm activity throughout the nighttime hours. So definitely be on the lookout for that. If you have pets or children who are afraid of lightning or get startled with it really easily, please be on the lookout for that tonight, as it could definitely be of concern through the overnight hours, and also for tomorrow night and Thursday night. Now switching back to our local radar, let's get on back home here. We do have this little shower that's popping up just in Wythe County right now. Zoom on in a little bit closer there. So yeah, just a little pop-up shower. I mean, that's sort of what we're going to see over the course of the next 3 days or so. Allie, do we have any questions at the moment? Yeah. Okay. Henry County. Yeah, let me get on over there. Sorry, you guys know I'm new. Let me get on down near Martinsville, right? That's Henry County, right here. Yep. Okay, what's the question? Future weather. All right, so we want our FUTURECAST for Henry County. So we're going to go on through here. Now later on tonight, about 6 a.m., you see Martinsville, South Henry County sort of light up there in the lighter shades of green. And then the counties to the west and to the east, Patrick County out to the west, and then near Danville, there's some more rainfall that could happen. Now our winds start to shift from out of the northwest and to out of the south. So this system here that's at the bottom of the screen, that could be shifted to the west later on, depending on what the future updates in the model runs are. Now overnight tonight, Martinsville will most likely see some showers. Now depending on the strength of that, we could see some rainfall amounts anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to an inch. And then over the course of the day tomorrow, I'm not expecting to see too much rainfall. But again, a very isolated shower that gets up there at about 40,000 feet, that could start to drop some rainfall, and a lot of measurable rainfall. And I know south side over the past couple of days hasn't seen that much rain. Let me switch on over here to the amount of rain that they've seen in the past 5 days. Let's actually go to 7 days. Where is my mouse? There we are. So yeah, I mean, South Henry County, we've seen closer to 4 inches in some areas. but also some areas haven't seen much rain at all. I've only seen trace amounts. Some areas 2 inches, another inch. I don't think we'll see 4 inches of rainfall overnight tonight, but over the course of the next 48 to 60 hours or so, we could start to see those rainfall amounts add up and get closer to 3 inches, adding to this total of 4 inches. So some isolated rainfall is definitely possible in southern Henry County near Ridgeway, Martinsville, and as you get more north into the county above that into Rocky Mount. Yeah, Roanoke for what? Same thing? Yeah, so rainfall counties in Roanoke. Zoom on back. Anywhere in particular in Roanoke or just Roanoke? Okay. So yeah, Roanoke County over the past couple days, or the past 7 days, the past week, we've seen about 3 inches out near Vinton, closer to 2, and then South Roanoke only about 1 3/4 inches. Cave Springs seeing about 2 inches, and then out along I-81 out in the western parts of the county, seeing closer to 4 inches. Now, going to pull up FUTURECAST here of our Barron radar. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanowich just walked in. He's waving behind the camera. So here's our FUTURECAST. Here's 9 p.m. tonight. Now in Roanoke, we could see a stray shower or two, and then by 11 p.m. we could see another shower. Now the big thing here is that, again, accumulated rainfall is our biggest concern. It could definitely play a factor in some localized flooding overnight and as we wake up on your Wednesday morning. But by about 1 a.m., all of this stuff starts to push to the east of us, and we're primarily in the clear for all of tomorrow until about midday and later on, where some more pop-up showers could occur. Now that's just one model run that we have. Switch back on over to active radar. To here, 1 second. There we go. You all good?
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah? So current radar not showing anything for Roanoke. Well, we could see some more accumulation of rain. We haven't seen anything necessarily in the past 12 hours or so, 24 hours. Seen a little bit of rain. But again, heavy rainfall amounts is the biggest concern. Future radar showing some storms starting to move through later on around 9 p.m. and then up until about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. later on tonight. I'll take 2 more questions, Allie, if you have them. That's all we have? Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. To sum things up, again, Weather Authority alert day from tonight until Thursday afternoon and evening hours. Threat of localized floods, flooding and damaging winds possible. Although damaging winds and hail is on the lower end of the spectrum, it's still very, very possible. This will be scattered throughout all of our zones. We've already seen a lot of rainfall in the past 7 days, so any really heavy downpours of rain could just add to those totals, and then we could see even more flooding potential on top of that, especially near Carroll counties, Franklin counties, Floyd counties, right in that where they intersect, and then out in Lynchburg along 501, and then again Tuesday night into Thursday night. So thank you all for watching. I'm happy to take more questions on Facebook underneath this post if you guys have them. Please let me know if you have any concerns, and if you do have any cool pictures, please take them when they are safe to do so. And you can send them into our Pin It app, which I'll have it right here for you. Be a part of the story, WSLS.com/pins to do so. So thank you all for watching. Have a very safe and wonderful night. As always, stay weather aware out there. Thank you all.